I am recording. Ba ba ba.
I am recording. Ba ba ba.
I am recording. Ba ba ba.
Is this 16?
Yes.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 716th episode of the Pokemon Champions podcast. I'm your host, Steve. With me is Bobby.
Hello. Do we want to rebrand as that? Is that the
You know, if you've only listened to this episode and the last two episodes, you would think we only talk about Pokemon Champions.
Sure.
But if you listen to the episodes before that, you would think we've only talked about Pokopia. So
True. Okay.
New games did come out. We're talking about the newer games.
I guess that's true. Okay. I'll get on board with that. Yeah. Well, I'm here and I've played Champions.
That's why we're the Pokemon Champions podcast. Speaking of Pokemon Champions, Austin also here.
Hey, I'm not going to talk about Pokemon Champions right now. Instead, I'm going to say I went to go see the Mario Galaxy movie this week. It was
nice.
I liked it more than the first Mario movie.
Okay.
So, but I'm also a big Mario Galaxy fan, so that maybe helped with all like the theming of the movie, but it was good though. I enjoyed it.
Sounds biased, but sure.
Maybe a little bit.
I liked the first Mario movie. I don't remember anything that happened, but I was like, this was a good 90 minutes of my time.
Yeah. I don't think they're like fantastic movies, but they are fun. They're fun to watch. It's a good however long it is, you know?
Yeah. I think you would probably get more value out of 90 minutes of a Mario movie than 90 minutes on TikTok.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would agree.
True.
You know what? I didn't get my time's worth. I also recently rewatched the Keldeo movie, and by far, that's not a good one. That's the worst Pokemon movie, right?
I don't think it's the worst.
Not the worst, but sure.
Also,
Okay.
Kieran was not in the wrong.
No, Kyurem was right. Keldeo was the wrong one.
Yeah, correct, yes.
Keldeo just goes up there and cries the whole time. It's like, what did you expect, buddy? Come on.
Yeah. Kieran very clearly laid out the rules of the fight, and Keldeo was like, nah, I don't want these rules anymore.
Keldeo
Like,
agreed to the terms and
You
conditions,
agreed?
didn't read through them.
It's wild though that Austin, you say that the Keldeo movie is the worst one when the Power of One exists. Was it that what was it called? The Power
Power
of
of
One?
One, yeah.
Was that the one where Pikachu talks?
No, that was I
a
Choose
great
You.
movie. That,
Sure, okay. You're talking about the...
Lugia and Zeraora for like
the
4.5
Zeraora
seconds.
movie.
No, because Sudowoodo carried that movie. Sudowoodo was the best part of that. It was good. I like
Okay.
that one.
Oh, sure.
I didn't like that one.
All right.
I didn't mind Pikachu talking, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was fine. Yeah, that was fine. All right. Here's our show for you guys today. It will be a little bit Pokemon Champions heavy, but a lot of people are playing Champions, so that makes sense of what we're talking about. There is a new event in Pokemon Sleep, so we'll just go over that real quick, and then we'll go into Champions. We'll take a break. We'll probably wrap up Champions. If you stick around for the bonus episode, we will talk about the disqualification that happened at the Florida Regionals involving a Go player. There was technically two disqualifications. There was a TC. Well, you could talk about both, but one is has way more stakes than the other, I guess. I think that we can always... This is how I determine the show is like, do we need to talk about this stuff this week or can we push it to next week? And then we just never end up talking about it.
Yeah.
Look, I think the last 2 weeks has been close to 2-hour shows.
Mm.
I do try to plan this to be a 90-minute show.
They've been a little long lately.
We try.
So with that being said, let's just jump into Pokemon Sleep. Which we have some already starting off with bad news, because apparently Bobby has not heard the new Pokemon Sleep music, which I expected him to have good things to say about the new song.
I haven't. I'm sorry. I played on Monday, and I didn't have my sound on when I played, and then just some things happened this week, so I just did not. I haven't had a chance to play Sleep. And I'm not done playing the game. So if you see me on the friends list and, I haven't opened it in a couple days or whatever, I'm not done playing. But I didn't play the event this week.
Are you going to be able to get your main skill seed and Latias going into week 2?
I'll be able to get Latias. I have like 4 or 5 main skill seeds right now. So I think I'm good on main skill seeds for the moment. But I think I should be able to get Latias because I have the biscuit. And then I could do a master biscuit or something. I also have a ton of sleep points.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, it seems like the only thing you're really missing out on is multiple Latias.
Yeah, because the first one's like
Yeah.
average.
Right. Is Latias a Pokemon I'm really going to want to use moving forward, though?
If we don't know how good it'll be with Latia.
Yeah. It's hard to tell.
Because what if you got like a God or a Latias, and then your Latios is really bad?
So bad.
Yeah, that is a little annoying that it's like dependent on another legendary Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin, how was your sleep week?
So far so good. I think I have 2 Latias right now. I'm not sure if either of them are. I mean, the one is the first one you get, so it's not great. But it's been good so far. I also would like to say I play the game with no sound on, so I never hear the music. So if it's good,
Oh my gosh,
I'm sure. But
the
Pokemon
music
Sleep's
is
like the one game I do play with sound on.
sure.
Yeah. I know. I don't know why I didn't play on Monday with sound on. I do. The music is great. The Pokemon Sleep has, in my opinion, some of the best music of especially any Pokemon like mobile game, for sure. It's just you should just play 1 week with the music on, Austin, just so you can.
Yeah, I think my issue is my phone is all the time on silent. I never have audio on. Like maybe if I'm watching TikToks, but I'll just read the captions, right? But I think that stems from growing up. I would play my DS on silent, so like a lot of like the route music I'm hearing and stuff. It's like I know that song, but I don't have that thing to pull back from to like remember where that is.
Did you play? You're a shiny hunter.
Yeah.
Did you play Arceus muted? Because
I did not. Those ones I did hear.
Okay.
I heard the rah, 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 when flying. I heard that.
I did. Wait, where did you go, Austin, this week?
I went to Lapis.
Okay, I went to Lapis as well. And if I can crit my last 2 meals, I'll be Master 20 on Lapis without good camp.
Whoa.
I'm Master 4.
That's so good.
All right, we'll take it.
Master, yeah.
Are
Master
you using
20,
camp
wow.
ticket?
No.
Oh yes, yeah. Master 4, no camp. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Auto cook?
Yes.
way?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
No,
that's bad. We can't defend that.
I wasn't trying to insult you. I was just like, that's pretty impressive. Auto cooked the whole way, Master 4.
Hey, what can I say? I'm a sleeper.
Who cares about champions? The Pokemon Sleep tournaments are locked and loaded. I think so. I caught my normal Latias, and then I was gonna save all the incense for Green Grass Expert next week.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know. So Green Grass Expert has an increased shiny boost always. I don't know if that implies the legendaries. But if I'm gonna get a second Latias, I would save it for the chance of it maybe being more chance of shiny.
Yeah. No, that makes
sense.
Yeah.
Even if it's not good, at least I know it's an instant catch and I don't have to waste the biscuits.
True. That's true. Yeah. Are you running camp ticket next week?
Yeah, I think I'll run camp ticket next week.
Okay.
But I'm at the mercy of what Green Grass Expert will give me roll wise.
Yeah, that's the thing. I never liked Green Grass Expert for that. It just I never had the right Pokemon. It felt like I never had the right Pokemon.
It definitely does make you reevaluate what you have and don't have.
Right.
So I guess we'll see. Because I don't know if I just want to do another Lapis again. That kind of feels a little boring. So
especially since you mastered 20, now it's like, well,
yeah, and I don't really want to go to Amber Canyon because there's no Pokemon I need on Amber Canyon. At least like this past week, I've been getting Tricos, and I have yet to get a good Trico. But we're 47 Tricos in, and nothing yet.
Jeez.
That's wild. That is wild. Is there there's no difference with the Latias event this week? There's just going to be a few cheaper items that'll show up.
Yeah, I think Snorlax will start at like a higher power.
Oh, of course, right.
And then I think the boost your triggers will go up. Not your triggers, your skill levels will go up.
It's an increase of like 5 or something this week,
I think
right?
4, and
4.
This week was 2, and then tomorrow will be, or today when you're listening to this will be, I think, +4.
Okay.
So, I don't know, maybe we'll see, I guess. Figure it out. Excited. Speaking of exciting, Pokemon Champions is out. It is out. Here's your disclosure. The Nintendo and the Pokemon Company sent me the starter pack for free.
Oh.
And I did not redeem it. So I can say whatever I want now. No, I mean, they send me stuff all the time and I say whatever I want. But I did not redeem it. There's a reason for that. But I don't know where we want to start with Champions.
Yeah, there's so many places to start with Champions. Do we want to start positive? Do we want to start negative? Because that could determine where we jump in here.
I do have some positives to say, which is.
Let's start positive. Maybe let's start with some positive notes.
Let's start. Actually, before we start positive or negative, let's start with information.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Good starting point. Yeah.
Okay. So some things. Let's start off with the we know the actual pricing of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because they didn't tell us any of that early, although they told Japanese players what that pricing was, but the at least on the American side of things, they did not tell us anything. So you cannot give this game a lot of money. How much is the starter pass? I never redeemed it, so I never saw it.
$6.99.
It was $6.99, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was like a one-time, only purchase once kind of thing. You can't purchase it again. And then there's a season pass, which is going to rotate every 6 weeks, I believe. Which is because the season I think is 6 weeks, is $9.99.
Okay.
I don't know how 6 goes into 50. That would be 8.
Yes, 8 and a little bit. 8 remainder 4. I don't know.
So
remember that as a kid? Remember 8R4?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they lied to us about remainders and they actually don't exist and they don't mean anything. Yes, I remember. I remember spending months learning remainders for those not to matter as an adult.
That's the first time I heard of a remainder in over 10 years, probably.
Yeah.
So I think season pass wise, you could spend $80 a year if you're buying every season pass.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there is the monthly pass / a yearly pass.
Membership, right?
The membership. So you could do $4.99 a month, or for good value, they say, you could do $50 a year. So all in all, if you were going to give this game the most amount of money, you could give it about $140 this first year.
I mean, compared to
Scarlets and Violets.
Scarlet
I was
and
just about to
Violet.
say you could buy Scarlet and Violet.
And
you
Sword
get that
and Shield.
and that's good for 3 years, going on to 4 years of competitive for $60.
Yeah.
Well, you have to buy the DLC.
$90, $95.
We also know that the clothing is all VP based. So,
Yes.
I do think it's weird that there's only for a franchise that is 30 years old, there's only 3 songs you can buy.
Yeah, that was odd. There's so many. How many songs are in Pokopia? How many CDs can you pick up in Pokopia, right? Like, it is odd. There's only 3 songs.
I mean, I guess you could maybe point a lot of these arguments back to like, well, they're going to drip feed it eventually.
Right.
Yes,
sure.
they are. Yes.
So there's 3 songs you can buy. They're 5,000 VP each, meaning it's one of the more expensive things in the game to buy.
That is wild. That's a wild amount of VP.
Did we? I don't know if there's like nowhere on Pokemon.com that explains what these things are for. The season pass is just to give you. It's just like Pokemon Go or Unite or any game that has a season pass. There is a free season pass, or there's a free battle pass.
Uh-huh.
And then the season pass gets you like every other reward on the track.
Right.
I kind of like how Pokemon Go does it, where it's like, here's everything in order, and then on this premium track, you can see what you would get alongside it.
Oh,
Yep.
versus
I really like how
skipping over. It's like if you have premium, you get steps 2, 4, and 6. But if you don't have premium, you only get 1, 3, 5, 7, 9.
Yeah. So this season pass is ZA focused, but it's specifically ZA girl focused. So you get the girl's jacket and the girl's pants and the girl's haircut. So is next season just going to be the boy?
Probably.
Which, like, that already slightly rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Of like, if you're gonna just feature a character, just feature both characters.
you would think.
Just feature just feature male and female clothing. Like, yeah, your character can wear whatever you want, and that's totally cool. But like, I don't like her pants, and I also don't plan to use her hair.
Less reason to buy it.
Right.
And then they put what was it? What was the free one? Was it Meganium was in the free track? And then Embor and Feraligatr were on the paid track.
I believe that's right.
Okay.
I know Embor's paid at least.
So you would get the free permanent rental of Embor and Feraligatr, and then you would also get their Mega Stones. So you could be paying for those Pokemon and those Mega Stones. Of course, I think the Battle Pass words this pretty poorly. Like the Battle Pass says, like, the only way to get Embor's Mega Stone. They use the word only. It's weird. But you can just get Embor's Mega Stone or Feraligatr's Mega Stone in the shop for 2,000 VP.
Okay.
Yeah. And you could just either recruit an Embor or Feraligatr in the ranch, or you could transfer it over.
Yep.
So I don't know. I looked at the season pass and didn't feel like it was actually worth $10 of content. And I felt this way with like a lot of the Unite passes, and I feel this with the Pokemon Go passes as well. I didn't buy March. And I didn't buy January, and I don't think I bought December. But also I live in a frozen wasteland in December and January, so it does make Pokemon Go harder.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't want to pay money and then also feel forced to play to just be like, to justify the money I'm playing.
Sure. Pokemon Go, it was a little, I mean, they've kind of changed it up, because don't you get the equivalent in coins that it would cost for the premium pass with Pokemon Go?
I think that was January's.
That was just 1 month. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool, because it's like, okay, I could at least, I put this $10 into this pass, or $8 into this pass. I'm at least getting coins back for the same amount, and now I can spend them on anything in the shop in Go and not on one specific thing, you know? I thought that was kind of a nice touch, but unfortunate they only did it for 1 month.
Yeah.
I think they've done it twice in total.
Okay.
But I don't remember what the other month was. I think April's Lucky Trinket.
That seems right.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't bought the pass in months, so I honestly don't know.
Yeah, which is funny that we're saying, like, I haven't bought the pass. I wonder how many people just feel inclined to just like, oh, I play this game, even if they don't play it every day. Like, well, I've always bought the pass. So
yeah, that's how it was with the researches back in the day with Go.
Yeah, I would buy all of them.
I buy the research because why not? It's just extra missions, extra tasks, things to do.
But now there's a lot.
Yeah.
So wait, Austin, did you buy the pass?
No.
But you bought the starter?
No. I haven't bought anything in Champions yet.
Oh, okay.
I've been playing free-to-play as of right now. I will buy it. I haven't.
The pass?
I probably will buy the starter thing and the pass, $10 one. So what is that, 17 total?
Yeah, $17.
Oh, I don't see any value in the pass.
I'm going to get it for the first one.
But you know exactly what you're getting.
Do you think
the first one?
Do you think the teammate tickets and the quick coupons do anything for? I guess most of the. I'm looking at a list of the items right now. I guess most of the quick coupons are not paid, but the teammate tickets are paid.
The teammate tickets let you save 2,500 VP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think those are maybe worth it.
maybe. Now we're getting to the point where like we have to start giving opinions. Let's talk about the ranch real quick.
Okay. Yes.
So the ranch is the gotcha light, the mini gotcha mechanic that I talked about.
Yep.
And when I talked about it after coming back from Seattle, I said that this was one of the ways to get a player to log in daily. And I would hope that people listening to the show, especially if you're longtime listeners, you would realize even if you only played Pokemon games, you would realize like the tropes of most mobile games. And I'm saying this is a mobile game because this game is going to come out on mobile, and that's probably going to be their core audience.
Mm-hmm.
Of even if whether it's a Pokemon mobile game or Fortnite or any other free to play game or just whatever, the main purpose is they want you to log in as much as possible.
Right. Yep.
So Pocket does that with like the 2 daily packs. Obviously, Sleep does that with tracking your sleep, and
the game.
You can only catch Pokemon in the morning when you wake up. Pokemon Go does that in a variety of ways. Pokemon Masters. So all these games do that. This is no exception, which you would think is a little weird for it just being a battle sim. But the ranch exists. So every 22 hours, you get a free 10 pull. And then you get to pick one of those Pokemon in the 10 pull. And you can pick any of those Pokemon for free with a 7-day rental. Or you can spend 2,500 VP to permanently recruit that Pokemon. Or you can use one of the recruitment tickets that you get from either the Battle Pass or I think there's a couple like training missions or tutorial missions that give you a couple. I think in total I got like 3 or 4. And again,
teammate ticket?
Teammate tickets, yeah.
Okay.
And I have spent no money in this game. And there's no reason not to use the teammate ticket once you get it on a Pokemon you want, right? Because it's just saving you 2,500 VP, and there's no way to buy VP, but there's no way to buy these tickets. So it's just like another currency. But yeah, every 22 hours you get a free ranch Pokemon. The difference between I did test this out. The difference between the stuff, if you rent for 7 days, okay, so first off, you have to take a Pokemon. If you got 10 bad Pokemon and you back out of the ranch, when you go back into the ranch, it picks up where you left off. So you have to pick something of the 10.
Right.
If you pick the 7-day trial, you can still use that Pokemon in battles, and you can also say, I do want to recruit this Pokemon, and at that point, you can pay the 2,500 VP.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that makes sense. So you have 7 days to trial it, and then you could say before the 7 days is over, okay, I want to convert this to a
permanent.
To a permanent. Okay.
Yeah. So at any point in the 7 days, you can use your ticket or you can use your VP to recruit. What you can't do is you can't modify the stats or ability, or you can't like change the rental unless you were to own it. So if you had like a 7-day Raichu and you were like, oh, I really want to give Raichu fake out. Well, you don't own that Pokemon yet, so you can't give it fake out. So you can use it as is, but if you want to change it, you need to own it. Well, your trial, it's a trial run, right?
It's a trial run with trash moves. Okay,
Yeah,
we're not in opinion mode yet. Okay, that's fine. Continue.
I mean, yeah, Raichu should have fake out. That's like kind of the reason you're grabbing Raichu is it's a fake out user.
Yeah. Also, I haven't said it yet, but I haven't spent any money in this game either. But I have played it, so like we're all in the same place there.
There are some exceptions here. So if you were to recruit a Dragonite and then you redeemed the free Dragonite that you get from playing, you do get refunded your 2,500 VP.
And the Dragonite goes away because you already now have one?
No, because the Dragonite you're redeeming is a Cherishball Dragonite.
Oh.
So you keep both.
Okay.
So you do get refunded. If you release a Pokemon, I did this for science, you get nothing for that. So I recruited a Tink. The game gives you like 6 free Pokemon when you start.
Mhm.
And then depending on what Pokemon you pick, there's actually like subsets of things. So if you picked like Tyranitar, you would get Whimsicott and some other Pokemon. If you picked, I think everyone got Beedrill. If you picked Palafin, you got, gosh, what did Palafin come with? I don't remember.
I think it was Charizard that came with Whimsicott. Because I picked Charizard and got Whimsicott.
I think
as well.
I know I picked Palafin and I didn't get Whimsicott. But I think I think everyone gets Victory Bell as well.
I don't think I have a Victory Bell.
Okay, I got a Victory Bell by picking a Palafin.
Okay.
I have a Gengar.
I got a Gengar too.
Because I used Gengar, Whimsicott, and Charizard just in my first match.
Oh, okay. Wait, actually, I didn't get Gengar. It doesn't matter. Either way, whatever you pick at the beginning gives you 6 different Pokemon. So if you're really if you haven't played yet and you're like, well, I want Whimsicott for sure, don't pick Palafin.
Right. Yeah.
But I was like,
look online too.
Yeah, you
online,
can
there's plenty of lists that show which one gives you which team.
The point of that was just to say they're different.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyways, I didn't want to throw away one of the Pokemon that they gave you for free, like a Beedrill, because I was like, they're giving it for free. There's nothing there. So I recruited a Tinkaton.
Okay.
And then I released the Tinkaton. You get nothing for it.
You permanently
I permanently recruited it, and I permanently released it.
Okay. Nothing.
For science.
2,500 VP for science.
Not only the 2,500 VP, Bobby. I changed its ability. I changed its moves. I changed its EVs.
Wow.
I did it all. I used it in battle, and then I released it. You get nothing.
Steve over here, man of the people, man of science.
Man of the science. Take that, Nintendo.
We gotta learn.
You get nothing for it. But so the warm-up challenge is happening this weekend. By the time this podcast goes up, the warm-up challenge should be over. But from my understanding, how it works is if you get a gift Pokemon and you already own that, you will get VP back. So if you did pick a Gardevoir is the reward Pokemon, and you should get 2,500 VP back.
And I'm assuming that same thing goes for Machamp as well, being a mystery gift?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. So, I guess not confirmed. It'll be confirmed in 24 hours when the Gardevoir comes out.
Yeah.
But you get nothing for releasing a Pokemon. You do get, so when you buy the starter pack for, was it $6.99? You get permanent box spaces. And I think you get like 1 extra song as well. And I know if you rank up in battles, so if you rank from Pokeball to Great Ball, you get 5 extra box spaces, and then Great Ball to Ultra, you get 5, and then from Ultra to Master, you get 10. So as somebody who hasn't paid for anything, and as somebody who's gotten Master, I have now 50 permanent box spaces without spending any money. Because you start with 30.
That's not bad.
Yeah. And I think the starter pack gives you another 50. So that would, if I was to buy that would give me 100.
Yes. Something gives you a ton of spaces. I forget what it is.
It's the yearly membership gives you like 1,000 spaces.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. It gives you like 1,000.
They really ramped that up quick.
It also gives you like 15 battle teams, which I feel like you don't need. And like for example, in Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, you would get 6 battle teams.
6, okay, that's what I was thinking.
And never in 3 years did I ever feel like, I wish I had more battle teams. I just never did.
Yeah, that's
fair. I need them.
If you're a person that likes to rent a bunch of teams out to other people and they want to rent your teams, that would be nice, I guess.
Yeah.
But that was not a selling point for me. I like the ranch is doing what I thought the ranch would do, which is like get people excited to roll the ranch.
Yeah.
Even if they don't need the Pokemon.
Yeah. Have either of you come across a shiny Pokemon yet? I know the answer, but
I have not.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Good?
It was a Semipour.
So pretty good. Pretty good.
You know they gave Semipour fake out this game. So they all have fake out now.
Really? Does it have fake out right off the ranch, unlike Raichu?
I don't think it has it right off the ranch.
Okay.
I like that saying though. Right off the ranch.
Right off the
ranch.
The game is really generous with the VP out of the right off the ranch. You get 10,000 for just logging in.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately like recruiting 4 Pokemon. You get 10,000 for doing one of the tutorials. You get like another 5,000 or like 3,000 from another tutorial. There's a tutorial that gives you like 4 Mega Stones. There's quite a bit that will get you VP. When you win a match, you get 300 VP, which I believe was changed, and that's why we for the last 2 episodes we were like, don't take these numbers like
right
seriously because the numbers could change. Really early on when we saw champion stuff, we saw that recruiting a Pokemon was only I think it was like 1,500 VP, and then obviously now it's 2,500 VP.
Yeah.
But I definitely saw that winning was like 200 VP.
Yes.
But now winning is like 300 VP. So when you win, it's 300 VP.
Makes sense.
When you lose, I don't know how it calculates the range of losing. I've lost before and I got like 47 VP, and then I lost another match and I got like 97 VP. So it's better than nothing.
Just round it. What is like?
I don't know I don't know why there's there must be like some resistance or something it's not showing to assign that VP. I've also won and I've gotten like 307 VP.
Oh, that's weird.
There must be some bonus somewhere then, or
there must be some hidden bonus, maybe based on like their rank versus your rank or something.
Are there? I think maybe it's missions. There's like win with a grass Pokemon or something.
No, that's different VP. You have to go in and
claim that
differently. Yeah, you have to claim that.
Oh, okay. But that's okay. Got it.
Yeah, but there is like win with Pelipper 10 times and you get like 500 VP.
Right.
And then, but those missions are weird too because it's like win with all. There's 186 Pokemon I think in this game, and all of them have like win 10 and you get 500 VP, and then it's win 50 and you get like another 500 VP, and then it's like win. I think it's 100, and then you get another 500. So it's like that in itself, whatever you want to say, good or bad, you could say good because it's VP or because it's free VP, but also bad because who's playing with like Furfrou.
Right. Yeah.
But like it's a grind.
Right.
It also opens it up to that person who does play with Furfrou and doesn't feel like, oh, well, I'm playing with Furfrou because it's my favorite, but like I don't get anything out of this versus... I don't know. I'm just saying it evens the playing field for people to think they can play with their favorite and there's a reward at the end versus, oh, there's no reward because I'm using Furfrou versus Pelipper. So it is nice that like every Pokemon has that opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I would push back on people that say like this game is so VP generous because what mobile game is not generous up front to try to hook you.
Yeah, that's how these mobile games, that's how all free to start mobile games work, is they jam you with currency at the very beginning. They get you rolling, so you're playing, and then once you're in there and you've been playing for a little while, lake dries up and you got to go get more of that currency somehow.
Yeah, I mean, think about TCG Pocket. How many hourglasses we got right off the bat from the first set, and now it's like, it's so hard. It's hard to get them. Harder to get them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is the case I'm just building here. Is the game has these hooks to want you to log in every day. They have their little Pokemon Go missions of it's like log in, recruit 1 Pokemon, which you can only do every 22 hours. Or you have to spend your VP or your tickets to recruit, right? So one quick ticket is 1 hour, so 22 quick tickets would be resetting the ranch.
Yep.
Or a 100 VP would be an hour, so 2,200 VP would reset the ranch.
Wow,
which is kind of a lot if recruiting a Pokemon is 2,500.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like the daily missions, I think they've pretty much been the same the last 4 days. It's log in, recruit a Pokemon, win a battle, win, not play, win a battle. And then I can't remember the last one. And then that would be, and then one of them is like complete all missions, which is
yes. Yep.
And then that would get you more stuff as well. So I'm not saying the game isn't generous with VP up front. It has been.
Mm-hmm.
But also when you're winning like 10 matches with 6 Pokemon, that's a decent amount of VP. But then all of a sudden now it's win 50, not 10.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
it amps.
And I don't think that this is any worse than any other free to start games either. It's just kind of the general.
Right.
How
I just when people say like, oh, it's so generous with VP, what does it matter? Like, I'm just saying you're being tricked by a mobile game.
Yeah. In a month and a half, you won't be saying the same thing you're saying now, just because.
But also, if you're logging in every day and you're playing every day, which is what they want, you might be okay with VP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like if you're logging in every day, playing every day, you're probably also saving VP from not buying Pokemon. You're not recruiting any because you're probably bringing them in if you're a hardcore dedicated player.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. Honestly, it would be very interesting in, say, a year's time, especially after this releases on mobile. How many people are playing, how many like daily users they have that aren't also like Pokemon Home subscribers and things like that. Like how many players in a year will they have who are just playing with champions using the recruiting feature and things like that versus people who have Home and a connection to all these other games?
Okay. We kind of laid out some of the fundamentals of the game. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we will give the pros and the cons of Pokemon Champions. So we will be right back. And we are back from our break. All right. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give my opinion. I don't want people to think I'm being too negative about this game. I don't want people to think I'm being positive about this game. I'm just going to read a list of facts from this game. And you, the listener, can determine whether that is positive or negative to you. These are not my opinions. These are just facts from the game that I wrote a couple down.
Okay.
All right, number 1. Doesn't run at 60 FPS on the Switch 2.
Fact.
They're all facts.
Fact.
Okay.
There's
Some would argue
less
60's too much, so I get it.
The tutorial has a female Gallade.
Okay.
There's less than 200 Pokemon. Encore fails to redirect Thunderbolt.
Okay.
The replica system requires you to actually have the Pokemon, whereas the old rental system, you just needed a code. There are only 2 arenas in the game. Unnerve seems to be broken. Focus Sash seems to be broken. There are no replays in the game.
Fact.
Yeah, I mean, these are all things.
These are all things. I think one of the complaints I've seen. Okay, we can talk about complaints now. There was I didn't write this down. Pokemon were getting stuck in between Pokemon Home and Pokemon Champions.
Yes, that has been confirmed as fixed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So there was also a bug that I believe has been fixed too, where if you booted the game up while it was docked, it would not have the high resolution texture patch.
Mm-hmm.
And the way to fix it was to undock your Switch and then redock your Switch in order for it to apply the high resolution patch. Again, These are not opinions. These are just facts.
Yep.
I believe that has been fixed. So there was an emergency update. Classic Ilka. There was an emergency update on Friday night. It was 2 hours. They acknowledged that Leech Seed, the text for Leech Seed was wrong. They acknowledged that woke is back and female Gallade should not be a thing. They acknowledged that the Encore is broken. I think they said there was also an issue with Haze. So I think Focus Sash and Haze, I think those were visual bugs. I don't think they were actually competitive bugs. Oh, I also forgot to write down. They acknowledged that the turn order for when you Mega Evolve, the main mechanic in the game, did not work, which is interesting that they realized it was broken now, because we as players definitely realized it was broken during PAX.
Yes, that's true.
That was like the biggest thing that came out of PAX, were people recording the screens, which was like fine, whatever. Like Nintendo doesn't care.
Yeah.
But then people talking about why is Mega Slowbro Mega-ing before Charizard.
Yeah.
So they acknowledged that was broken, which that's like a huge thing. Like if the whole point of, especially with Charizard, which sets Drought, Frostlass, which sets Snowscape, Tyranitar, which sets Sandstorm, the order you Mega Evolve is really important for setting weather. So the fact that that was also broken is kind of crazy. So anyways, I just listed a bunch of things that were broken / facts of the game. The emergency update they put out did fix the Pokemon being stuck in home, and it did fix the Mega order. And then I believe it fixed the you need to pick up your Switch console and redock it thing.
Okay.
But then they said, and it fixed. I did think it fixed Encore. But they said that like the female Gallade thing is incoming. Like they haven't fixed that yet. They haven't fixed the Leech Seed thing. There was like some other things they haven't fixed. So I don't. Here's my opinion. I don't know if I have an opinion. Is this good that they fixed it so fast, but also they didn't fix everything?
Part of me thinks that some of this was already in the works. So I think they also knew from the PAX.
I don't think why do you ship a game that the Mega stuff is not actually working properly?
Sure, but maybe that's just where they were at. Like, you know, like when the PAX demos went out, I'm guessing the game was packaged and ready to go. And so they probably needed to ship what they had, and then were able to go in and do their fixes as quick as possible afterwards. I don't really know how. I actually did used to work for a software company, but I don't know how like video games like software works. So I don't know what their like plans were or their deadlines were, or if it was just, hey, we have a deadline. We have no way to get this fixed right now, but we can start working on it so we can get it in there as soon as the game comes out, as soon as we can patch it. Maybe. I don't know.
My thought with that is, if they knew there was one coming, wouldn't they have announced, hey, there's going to be a day one update or, you know, something like that? But they, as far as I was aware, did not mention that.
Maybe they didn't want to start.
Sure.
Maybe they didn't want to start this game off with a negative feeling.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like day one updates are not that uncommon anymore, I think.
True.
So.
That's true. I don't know. I'm trying to give Ilka the benefit of the doubt here.
How? It's a tutorial Gallade. How did no one catch that Gallade is 100% male?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like that big a deal. Like, it doesn't change the game at all. Like, that's not one of the game breaking bugs. You know, it's not getting stuck in home. That's a problem.
I mean,
yeah, sure.
But
Spinarak was just pure bug type in Pokopia for how long?
Like, but also,
but
seems
Spinarak
like
wasn't like the first 2 minutes of the game.
Sure.
True.
But also, this seems like one of the easiest things to fix. So the fact that they didn't fix that is like, I don't understand. Like, sure, it doesn't mean a whole lot in terms of the gameplay, but it seems really easy to flip a switch, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Leech Seed isn't broken. It's just the text.
The text is wrong.
Under Leech Seed is wrong. So why would not changing the text, and why not changing just Gallade being male?
It seems like a very easy.
Those both seem incredibly easy.
Again, I think that the patch to fix what they fixed, the emergency fix, was actually in the works prior. And then I think that they maybe they didn't notice the Gallade thing. Maybe they didn't notice the text thing until it was brought up when the game came out. And those were like, okay, now we need to fix those. But the other ones, I kind of feel like they were aware of it already. And so they kind of had it ready to go and just wanted to get that out. And then they were thinking, okay, we'll work on these other things that aren't game breaking for the next update that we do.
Yeah, I think my thought process was like, some of these are definitely more important than the other ones to fix first. It's just the confusion of these other ones seem pretty easy. I feel like they could have easily but I don't know.
But you have to think about it this way too. When you think about the little I do know about like software development, everything you do can also break something else.
Sure,
you change one thing that might be simple. You have to make sure it doesn't break anything else when you make that change. So it's not as simple as like, oh, we just flipped that over and then assume nothing else broke, right? So there's a lot that goes into making sure when you make any change that you're not breaking some other part of the game by doing that.
Yeah.
They change Gallade back to male, and then all Tinkatons become male as well.
Yeah, exactly. You never
we didn't see this one coming. How did this happen? Yeah, I don't get how this game exists after Legends ZA and after Scarlet and Violet both running at 60 FPS, and this is not 60 FPS. I just don't understand how that's
defending
happening.
Scarlet and Violet's frames per second.
No, well, Scarlet and Violet had a free update to 60 FPS.
I know. It's just so many years of it not running at 60 FPS. But yeah, no, I do agree with you. It is a step backwards when you've had previous games running.
Yeah, we're 60. Only at most there's only 4 Pokemon on screen. In Scarlet and Violet, there's like 38. And they're running around.
That is true.
I think I'm one of the few people, or maybe not a few people, but I'm one of the people that I don't think I notice sometimes.
Oh, I very much noticed in this. Felt like it was just chunky, like it just was kind of chunking along sometimes.
What I will say is during the intro, like the tutorial part where the characters are walking around, that was definitely not, that was 30 FPS for sure. When they're like walking through the mud, it looks like. But in battle, I don't really notice it.
Yeah, I suffered through the entire tutorial not knowing I was supposed to undock. How did I not know?
Yeah, how are you supposed to know?
I went through the whole tutorial not undocked, and it looked. It was such a bad first impression of that game. I think the onboarding of this game is actually kind of bad.
Like the tutorial.
Like the first 20 minutes you have to suffer through.
Yeah. So here's where I'll lay this out for how much I played. I literally played the tutorial. I did the beginner battle that gets you into like Pokeball tier, and it gets you the ownership of the gym for some reason. One battle gets you the ownership of a gym. And then I did an extra recruitment, and then I tried to hook it up to Pokémon Home. And just to see what that experience was of just even attaching it to Pokemon Home. And that's all I played. So I played the least out of all three of us.
Before we get to the home stuff, because I didn't do that, what were your thoughts on the onboarding tutorial?
So I'm just going to be flat out honest. I do not care about battling in Pokemon. I just never have. It's just never. Arceus was an amazing game for me because there were 6 battles in the entire game. I was so happy about that. It's just not ever been my thing. I have tried multiple times to play competitive, to get into the VGC. I've built teams. I've played. I've definitely tried. It's never sparked that joy for me, I guess. So I will say, I thought that the tutorial was very much geared towards someone who's never played a Pokemon, never really battled in a Pokemon game before. And it was a little bit better than what they teach you in a main series game. I feel like there was a little bit more. They really did. I guess what it was is that because it's just straight up battling, it was so much more forward about, hey, let's look at type effectiveness. Hey, let's look at these things. Whereas in a main series game, when you're learning as you're going through the game, it's a little bit more subtle because they're doing it within the confines of a story. And in this, there's no story, right? So they're just straight up, this is this, this is this.
Hey, there's
And
a
that's-
story about how this old guy just gave a
Gym
to somebody who just walked in.
They're letting a little 10-year-old kid take care of like giant disasters in the main games. It's fine.
True. So I will say, I think that if you've played Pokemon like throughout your life, this was very like handholdy and like, I don't need this, right? Like I know how these things work. But overall, I think for like a brand new player who's never really battled, or maybe it's been a long time since they've battled, it was fine. Like it just was a little bit, for people who've played the game anytime in the last decade, it's a little bit like, yeah, I don't really need this. I can just take ownership of this gym without your lessons, old man.
Yeah.
It's a tutorial.
It's a tutorial, but nobody's ever happy with Pokemon tutorials.
No, I just like, I come back to the question of like, who is this game for? Which is like a very broad question, right? I'm not saying it like seriously, but you have, I do think you have two different audiences that they're trying to capture.
Yes.
You have the and they literally said this. So you have the people who have never really gotten into competitive battling, and so you need a tutorial to onboard them. And then you have the people who are who have been very vocal the last year saying this game is for them. And I don't think they do either one well. And that leads into them saying, well, we didn't want to have pre-evolution Pokemon because we didn't want to confuse players of why there's a Porygon 2 and not a Porygon Z, or here's a Clefable, but there's no Clefairy. And it's like, okay, you don't want to confuse new players. But is that actually, if Clefable and Clefairy both existed, would that actually confuse anyone?
They really leaned into that. They really said there was one of the interviews that they did that they were worried that a brand new player would choose I'm not going to use Clefairy and Clefable in this situation, but they would choose the Charmander instead of Charizard. That's also a bad example. They would choose the Flabébé instead of Florges for whatever reason. I don't know why they think people would do that.
I don't know why either. Because what they did here, and I've seen people complain about this. It's actually not a complaint of mine. You would think it would be. It's not. So there's only 186 Pokemon in this game. And they're all final evolutions or Pokemon that can't evolve like Castform. No clue why Castform's in this game, by the way. They were like scared about putting Clefable in or Clefairy in the game, but they just put Castform in the game. Like, again, it goes back to this question of like, who is this game for? Because if a lot of your decisions are, well, I don't want to confuse new players, but then you make other decisions like, we're only going to give you like 20 held items.
Right.
And that makes all the competitive people upset because there is no Life Orb, there is no Assault Vest, there's items like Bright Powder and Quick Claw, which are normally not competitive items, but you're almost forced to use them in a sense not forced to use them, but your options are so limited that, like, why is Oranberry here?
I'm glad you brought that up because I was reading an article from The Verge who did like a review, or not a review because it's only been a couple days, but they just kind of did like a first look at Champions. And they literally brought up Oranberry as well. They're like, why is Oranberry here? That's going to confuse new players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is why it's so confusing. And you could say, hey, I wish there was more Pokemon. I wish there was more Megas. I wish there was more held items. That's I could tend to agree with you. I don't mind the format that exists currently. The format with like Mega Charizard, Mega Floette, Mega Gengar being pretty dominant. There's a Sneasler, there's Incineroar, there's Whimsicott. These Pokemon that are also pretty dominant. The format that exists, I think, is fine. And you could argue that Scarlet and Violet had like 400 Pokemon when it launched, but you're not using all 400 Pokemon, right? Like you're not using Lechonk, you're not using tarantula.
Maybe you're not using Lechonk, but I'm over here, a whole team of Lechonk.
So I don't. 186 Pokemon on the surface seems low. I've seen some people say like, well, Pokemon's Stadium 2 had 252 Pokemon, and it's like, okay, yeah, but you probably weren't using Geodude or like Graveler. You were probably just using Golem.
Yeah.
Unless you were maybe doing a little cup. So none of that stuff really bothers me. And even the low amount of held items also doesn't bother me. But again, going back to the question, who is this for? If you don't want to confuse new players, why are you putting Oranberry here?
Yeah, it's not the low amount of items. It's the choice of which items they decided go in the game, right? Like, you could have a low amount of items, just don't put things like Oranberry in there. Like, there are other options.
So
Okay.
it's just really weird that they want new players to come. Obviously, we talked about how VGC hasn't been growing the last 3+ years. And then they make these decisions, but then they also make other very confusing decisions. And then that would also lead into me being like, the replica system is terrible, specifically for new players.
Yeah. Okay, I have arguments against pretty much almost everything y'all just said.
Ooh.
So in terms of this being a positive, like, I'm being positive here. Maybe I'm being a little bit too hopeful. Maybe I'm being a little bit too generous. But I did want to come in with some positives because I do have some. As I was playing, I was like, oh, you know what? Okay, I've convinced myself. So for the fact that new players, they very much targeted this game towards new players. And, there's the whole, I do think the new recruit system, or not the recruit system, what's it called now? The rental, whatever.
It's called Recruit. It used to be called Rental.
I think that's a little bit rough. I think that could use a little bit of work. It's hard to know what you want to use unless you're trying it out and playing it. So, that's a whole different thing. But I think the lack of items, the lack of Pokemon, kind of a good thing to start off. And I'm coming at this from a person who's probably closer to a new player in terms of VGC than somebody that has played, all the other, they played in tournaments and stuff like that. I think it's easier to learn the items in Pokemon when there are less of them.
No, I agree. But there are items that just shouldn't exist. Like, there's no reason you would ever equip Lepaberry.
Sure, but
why is that in the game?
A new player uses Lepaberry and realizes, oh, that's not good. I'm not going to use it. And then Assault Vest comes later, and they find a purpose for it. And they're like, oh, this is good. I know how to use this one. Instead of adding it to a list of a bunch of other items, you might not pick Assault Vest because you're not aware of it. But a new item comes out, a new item gets added, you're like, oh, I want to try out this new item. And now there seems to be more of a reason to try it out and use it, where it's like, I know Oranberry is not a good item.
No, I think that's good. I think you're 100% right. I think that's good. I'm not saying, I'm not upset about the lack of items, because when Life Orb comes, when Assault Vest comes, players would be like, finally, that's here, or I don't know what this does, I want to use it, just like in Pokemon Unite. I'm with you on that. It also nerfs Pokemon that exist, right? Like, if Life Orb was there, almost every Garchomp would have Life Orb.
Yeah.
If Assault Vest was there, you'd probably see a lot more Incineroars running Assault Vest, which would make Incineroar harder to deal with. I'm not mad about the items that aren't there. I'm mad at the items that are there, like Lepaberry and Oran and a couple other berries that just, one, there's no reason you would ever run them as a new player.
Yeah.
And two, if you wasted your VP on it, you have now just wasted your VP.
That's a good point too.
If there weren't a currency cost to these, I would almost be on the side of, oh, some of these items that don't do anything or aren't very good, they make sense in the sense that they do teach you what to not use, because you use it and realize, oh, this is bad, I'm not going to use this again. So you kind of have to like see what's bad in order to know what's good. But because it's costing you currency, that's where it's like, I don't know that I agree with that, because
I just don't know how you make a decision of like, well, Clefairy's too confusing, but also here's a Lepaberry that you could put on a Pokemon.
It was a very weird balance of what they decided to add for new players and what they took away from veteran players. But another thing, I was talking to somebody else that was like, before the game had come out, they were mentioning how they hope this game adds like fun, what is it called? When you like you get to pick the Pokemon you're using. Like, sometimes mythicals are allowed, sometimes they're not. Rule sets or whatever.
Fun rule sets, yeah.
Yeah, they were hoping that there was going to be like fun rule sets, fun things like that. And I think the lack of Pokemon, maybe this is just like I said, it could be copium, but the lack of Pokemon allows people to pick things that wouldn't be normally used in the meta, and so we get to see new things right off the bat.
I don't know if that's 100% true, as Mega Charizard is very dominant and it's being paired with Venusaur, which is what it always gets paired with.
I'm trying to find good things. Okay, I'm really picking here.
Yeah, I thought what you were going to say was I hope that they have some fun animations for the moves, which I think that they do. I thought some of the moves had some pretty cool animations, but
Look, I already said I have no problem with the meta. I have no problem with the amount of items. I have no problem with the amount of Pokemon. I just think that their messaging is wrong, right? The messaging of like, well, we want new players in and we don't want to confuse them, but we're going to put a bunch of useless items that you could waste your VP on and then confuse them even more. Like, that just seems silly. Like, you could be very upset that, okay, there's no Life Orb. I don't mind that right now. Like, I'm curious if the thought process is Life Orb and Assault Vest come, but we take away Choice Scarf and Choice Band. I'm curious if they go that route.
Yeah.
Also, I think there's this perception of, well, eventually they'll add more Pokemon and we'll get all the Pokemon and they'll be fine. I don't think that's the case. I think they're for sure going to say, in season 10 or whatever, they're going to say, okay, these 200 Pokemon are allowed, but we're actually turning off Incineroar. We're turning off Charizard. We're turning off. And then what happens is those Pokemon take up spots in your box.
Yes, that's the problem.
With. I don't think there will ever be a format in this game. Well, there might be like a fun format where like every Pokemon's allowed for 1 month. But I don't think this game is going to get to the point where you can just go in and pick every Pokemon.
Right.
No, I don't think so either. As I think they've mentioned that. I'm
almost positive they mentioned this.
Yeah,
that they want to turn off and turn on Pokemon every season.
I do wonder if when they turn off Pokemon, they could like disappear from your box, like, and they come back when they're back on again. Like, I do wonder.
No, because
you don't think so?
How much does that mess up when they come back and all your stuff is wrong on them?
I think this is very much like Pokemon Sleep, where you get a shiny and you were like hesitant to release the shiny, but now it's taking up your Pokemon Sleep box.
Yeah, but there's
the thing they are selling is box space, right? Like, if you think about what they're actually selling you, it's box space.
But they're not selling box space on its own. They're only selling it bundled up with other things, which is kind of a weird way to sell.
No, they want you to get the monthly. They want you to lock into that yearly membership.
No, I know they do. I know they want people to lock into that yearly membership, but they can't rely solely on new people, like new battlers, locking into a yearly membership. This kind of speaks to who is this game for, and I think what they're figuring out, or I think what we're figuring out, is that you can't market or you can't play a game catered toward both the newest players who've never touched a Pokemon game before and the people who have been world champions at VGC. I think what we're finding is that doesn't really exist, because what they're doing is they're not catering really to either.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're trying to, and I think they've not succeeded at that. And I don't know that there is something that's going to change that, because now we're just where we're at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to talk about the meta. This is not to throw Austin under the bus, but the limited roster here did not develop new Pokemon.
Sure,
I'm just going to read the top 10 Pokemon here. Incineroar, Sneasler, Garchomp, Kingambit, Sinistcha, Whimsicott, Charizard, Basculegion, Floette, Mega Floette, and Rotom. These Pokemon, besides Floette, have always been pretty dominant.
Yeah.
They just rose back to the top here.
We are missing Fluttermane and Amoonguss, though.
We have Fluttermane. It's just Floette. And we have, like, Sinistcha is just the temporary Amoonguss. So if they added more Pokemon, I don't even know if this list would change that much.
Unless
Maybe
they take those Pokemon away.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what they have to do.
if they take certain Pokemon away, and that's what I'm like excited for. Like, I like the current format right now. Like, do I wish Assault Vest was there? Sure. Do I wish Life Orb was there? Sure. But I also understand that if Assault Vest was there, it would make probably Incineroar stronger. If Life Orb was there, it would make Garchomp stronger, because no one should be running Mega Garchomp. No one should be running Mega Garchomp. Garchomp is way better without the Mega.
Yeah.
And also, like, Charizard, there's no reason not to run Mega Charizard. Maybe if Life Orb was there, you could get away with it, or maybe you could put Assault Vest on, but like, every Charizard should be Mega Charizard Y. It's just the best Mega besides Floret in the format.
Right.
So I would like to see every season them say, okay, these Pokemon are not allowed, these Pokemon are allowed. I think that's way more interesting than just, okay, there's 100 new Pokemon. Okay, next season there's 100 new Pokemon.
Right.
Like, that would get a little, I don't know. But again, my complaint isn't the amount of Pokemon. My complaint isn't the items. That's all fine. I think you make a good point, Bobby, of why would somebody so casual buy more box space?
There's no reason.
It almost feels like they don't know what they're selling. Like, do I really want one song and more battle teams and more box space? Like, none of that really matters that much.
Right.
Even that battle pass, and here's my opinion, even that battle pass, I think it's really weak. Like, you should probably start off, I feel like most mobile games start off with a really strong battle pass.
Yeah.
And then over time the battle pass gets weaker and you're like, it's not as good as it used to be. This battle pass just kind of sucks.
The premium one? You mean the premium one?
The $9.99 for the Emboar, the Feraligatr, like, I think it's just a bad battle pass.
You know, it's interesting with things like that, where the battle pass doesn't add a ton to the game, but if you are very specifically want certain things, you go for the battle pass, because on the one hand, there is the thought of, man, this is not enticing at all. Why would a ton of people buy this battle pass? They don't need to do that. Yeah. On the other hand, you are showing a bunch of people, hey, we have this $10 item, but you're not at a huge disadvantage if you don't buy it. And I do think that does give people who are playing this free to start game it almost gives a little bit of trust between the company and the player base, because you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, well, you're not forcing me to spend $10 in order to be at a huge advantage. But on the other hand, when you look at, do I want to buy this? You also might be like, well, there's not a whole lot to buy here. Like, I see both sides of that. But
like,
coin.
Why just put the female outfits in? Why is it not both? Why is there no pose? Why is there no, like, throw? Like, the battle pass should be pure cosmetics. There's no reason for Alligator and Emboar to be on the paid track and their Megastones to be on the paid track.
Like, then you can also just buy them separately.
Yeah, you could just get the Megastones separately. Yeah. Or you could just move your Feraligatr and Emboar in from Pokemon Home. Like, the battle pass should just be cosmetics. It should just be, here's all the ZA outfits. Maybe here's a pose from ZA, and maybe here's a Legend ZA song at the very end. And if that was the case, I probably would have bought it.
Yeah, but again, this is their dilemma, right? We want to cater to people who are played this game for years. We want to cater to people who have Home and have a connection. We want to cater to people who don't have Home or Go. Now they have a couple more Pokemon that they can add to their team for Alligator and Emboar for $10 this month that they wouldn't have been able to do otherwise unless they randomly came across them in recruitment, right? Like, this is where they're catering to, like, all the groups. This portion of it kind of caters to the people who don't have any of the games to transfer in a Feraligatr or an Emboar.
Yeah, and I think this is where they're failing.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you can cater to all these parties at once. They're trying to do it, and I think that they're not doing it well. They're trying to.
Yeah.
I think that's what all these things are for. I think that's why the Battle Pass for $10 has a Feraligatr and Emboar. They're trying to cater to the people who don't have the ability to access those Pokemon otherwise. They're trying to let you you can have these now versus trying to recruit them randomly over the next however long. I just don't think it's working well. But I think that's the idea behind it all.
Yes, I think you're right. I think though maybe I don't know how to market anything. I think though your first season battle pass should be way stronger than what they're showing.
Yeah.
And I think it's at level 30 it ends, and then it's the last 20 levels are just 500 VP every level, which again I think goes back to the earlier conversation of they're handing out, it's so easy to get VP. Well, yeah, you're getting 500 VP every level at the end of that pass.
Mm-hmm.
And there are still 30 days of that pass left as of the recording. And I already hit 50. The pass is done for me. I'm completely done with it. So I was getting 500 VP every level, or at the last 20 levels of that pass.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting nothing. And now I will get nothing for the rest of the month.
For 5 weeks or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So again, it's just showing that yes, they're going to front load the VP to get you to, because they want to establish a pattern. They want you to log in every day. They want you to play every day. They want you to at least do the one match. And if you don't win that first match, you got to do another match. If you don't win that match, you're going to keep playing until you win the match, because that you have to win the match to complete the daily missions. So is that bad? No, it's like a free to play game. It's not that bad, but it's going to, if I stepped away from Pocket, which I did in November, if I stepped away from Pocket and I'm not logging in every day, and then all of a sudden a brand new set comes out with a full art immersive Cramorant, and I'm like, cool, I want to log back in and do it. Okay, that's 6 months of me not playing.
Yep.
And I'm going to log in and and say, oh, I only have enough for 4 free booster packs.
Mm-hmm.
I have to regrind all of that again.
Yeah.
And that is what's going to happen with some Champions players.
Yeah.
Where they might spend all their VP on clothes or songs or recruitment or powering it up. And then if in 6 months, Incineroar, Sneasler, King Gambit, Floette is not allowed, now they have to almost play catch up, and they're at a disadvantage.
Yeah. And I think that that is all free to play games, right?
Yeah, that's not exclusive to Champions.
That's not exclusive to Champions. It is, however, a little bit annoying if, let's just say, Champions is like the VGC competitive game of the future. You're banking that on people just continuing to log in every day or have some connection to home, which again, that's a whole different conversation, because that's a different tier of players who are tournaments and trying to go to worlds, things like that in Champions. But yeah, that's free to play games, right? In general. And that's definitely different than, say, Scarlet and Violet, where if I don't play for 6 months of Scarlet and Violet, I can fairly easily at least go catch the Pokemon that I need to catch so that I can then put them into competitive.
Yeah, but then you realize you don't have enough Silk Song from whatever bug Pokemon. You got to go knock out 20 of those so you can make the Protect TM.
Sure. I want to say really quick, as soon as I got into the game, I spent all my VP on clothes and stuff. Immediately.
Yeah, I saw that. And interesting
choice.
I
want to look good. I don't know what I'm doing.
There's not...
Not that. That's the craziest thing you could have done.
Yeah, but now my character looks cool.
I do have I do there's a lot of things about the game I do like. There's a couple more weird things I think, but let's take a break, and then when we come back we'll wrap up Champions, so we will be right back. All right, I did the thing where I wanted to see how hard it would be for mobile players which the game's not out on mobile. I think the rumor is the game is supposed to come out on mobile on June. I think that was on the Korean Pokemon Champions website, and then they removed it.
Yeah.
So the rumor is June. Take that, Korea. And so if somebody is waiting for mobile, it's probably because they don't own a Switch, obviously. And if they don't own a Switch, that means they don't have Scarlet and Violet or ZA or Sword and Shield or any of those games, right?
Hold on. Right before we get into that, I just want to say, like, I think that if I were to play this game, I would be much more likely to play it on mobile than I would on Switch.
I
personally.
agree.
Why?
Because when it comes to things where it like wants you to like log into stuff daily and do stuff daily, I'm not someone who I play my Switch at a very specific time of day, and I typically play it with like I'm planning to play this game specifically when I play my Switch, which like for right now, Pokopia is that game. So whenever I sit down to play my Switch, I'm gonna like Pokopia is already opened. I'm gonna start playing Pokopia. That's what I'm gonna do. With my phone, I just have it on me all day long, which I don't have my Switch on me all day long. I'm much more likely to like pop in and open a game and log in and get my like daily stuff on my phone than I am on a Switch. So just because of how this game is like positioned, I think that I would be much more likely to play it on my phone than my Switch, even though I have both.
Yes.
I would love to just sit down in the middle of a work shift and play some Pokemon Champions.
I don't know if that's true or not.
It is. No, it is. Because, for similar reasons to Bobby, if I'm opening my Switch, I'm going to play Pokopia right now. But if it was on mobile, I'm either playing Pokemon Go probably, or, I'll open up my daily packs. But I think if it was on mobile, I'd be more willing to open it out and about and play a game or two.
If there was a vertical mode on mobile, I would be more into it.
I knew that would stop
Sure.
you. The moment it's like, this game's horizontal, Steve is not even... No,
Yeah.
I just don't like touchscreen controls for games. Like
that's fair.
I don't.
Pokemon Sleep is fine and Pokemon Go is fine, but like I could never do Unite.
Right. So because the way Unite plays, right, where you're like it's an action game that's like ongoing versus like a
on-screen D-pad, whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't do that either. I don't like those, but like for a game like this where it's turn-based, I'm not so as like against the touch controls.
I think about how I play any competitive. It doesn't have to be Champions. It could be Scarlet, Violet, Sword, Shield, whatever. And I go back and forth between things so often. So like I'm looking through the 4 moves. I'm backing out. I'm maybe locking in my first Pokemon's moves. I'm looking at the second. I then go back out. Switching.
Sure.
I just this is just a me thing. This has nothing to do with the game. I'm just describing how I play. That I don't know how that translates to a touchscreen.
Sure.
Where I'm not looking at the controller when I'm going up and down, backing out, going in, going to Pokemon, switching, picking a move, canceling a move.
Yep.
But you see this when you watch. It's always fun to watch like VGC on the official Pokemon channel, and you always get one person's side, and sometimes they're just like scrolling through things so fast, and then other times they just like lock in, and there's like no backtracking. I'm committing to this move.
One of my favorite,
interesting to see on the back end.
One of my favorite things is just watching like a player just like all around and just immediately know exactly how to get to where they're going, but they're just all over the place, swiping through moves.
That's
autopilot.
That's just real quick. Sorry, that's like watching TCG is like that as well. Sometimes when you're watching them shuffle through their cards and like through everything, you're like, oh my gosh, they're doing all of this stuff so fast.
Yeah.
Well, actually, on the topic of selecting moves, I don't know if this is just a me problem because it very well could be, but I feel like when I'm moving my Joy-Con, or not my Joy-Con, the joystick to select a move, I feel like I'm often picking the wrong move. Maybe I'm just not being thorough with it, but I'm not having that problem in Fire Leaf Green currently when I'm selecting a move. But I noticed like I'll like swipe right and then I'll accidentally pick the one that's like bottom right instead. And I have
if you could touch the screen, you just touch.
But I don't know. That might just be a me thing. But I've noticed that like I'll pick the wrong thing frequently.
Interesting. I don't know.
No, I don't think I felt that. Okay. No, I'm just saying I don't think I felt that way. But I do feel like there's like a slight bit of lag.
Yeah, so I ended up I'm just using my D-pad now to pick moves because I don't mess that up.
I don't know. I think I always like using the D-pad more just because you're getting the definite direction of down, left, right, or up.
That's just a small thing I noticed.
Sure.
Anyways.
I'm not saying there aren't people who are playing on Switch that might not transition to mobile. I am saying that there are definitely people who don't own a Switch that this game will see a big bump in
Yeah. Yes.
when the mobile version eventually comes out.
For sure.
So I didn't spend any money. I never connected to Pokemon Home. I've put 15 hours into this game. I have hit Master Rank with only rental Pokemon, and I was at the mercy of the rental Pokemon.
The recruited Pokemon. Like
the recruited Pokemon. Sorry, yes, the recruited Pokemon. Yeah. So I wrote down my numbers. I recruited 33 times before getting to Master Rank.
This is how many days was this?
4
days, I guess.
Came out Tuesday, didn't play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 4 days.
Okay.
So 4 days. I rarely used VP to recruit. I was mostly those free tickets or waiting the 22 hours or whatever. So obviously I did 33 rolls in 4 days. So that means I saw 330 Pokemon. And in that 330 Pokemon, I never saw a Garchomp. I never saw an Incineroar. An Incineroar. I never saw a Whimsicott. These are Pokemon I named from the top 10 earlier.
Yeah.
I think I got one Charizard.
So you didn't have a Whimsicott.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that like picking Palafin would lock me out of Whimsicott. I didn't know that at the time. That was the first night where everyone was playing because I was waiting for it to launch on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So what I will say is I don't think that this game is that friendly to new people, despite what people are saying. If the number one Pokemon in the game right now, and you don't even need to go to Sarumi or anything to do this, you can open up Pokemon Champions and you can see what the number one Pokemon is in the battle data inside the app. The number one Pokemon is in Incineroar. If I don't own a Switch and I'm looking at teams and I go, well, the best Pokemon is Incineroar, and I don't have Pokemon Home or anything, and seeing over 330 Pokemon and I haven't seen an Incineroar once, that's really disheartening for a competitive game, right? Where the accessibility is supposed to be on the floor.
And remember, there's only 186 Pokemon in the game. So it's not like you saw 330 out of 1,000. You saw 330, and there's only 186 in the game.
Well, technically, I think 185, because Floette will never appear in the...
Got it.
Sure.
Okay.
But actually, that number's higher, because it's higher than 186, I think. Because I think that 186 counts Rotom, but there's 2 Sinistras, there's 5 Rotoms, there's... however many Furfrus. Furfru is only there to pad it out. Who knows why Castform is in the game? There's 2 Basculegion. Right? So I don't think that 186 counts the forms.
Sure. Right.
I would think not.
Just species. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't... That would be crazy if 186 and then like 7 of them are Furfru.
Yeah.
So if... Now, I know somebody's going to be like, well, just use Pokemon Home. Just trade with somebody. That's not the point. The point is, can you do this without connecting to those apps? Because if your argument is, well, just connect to Pokemon Home, that's exactly what they want. You're not installing just one app. You're installing 2. They want you to get into this ecosystem to lock you in even more. They want you to get a home membership, right?
Right.
And it was a fun challenge to get to Master Rank. I ended up winning. I don't think anywhere in the game it shows you your wins and losses. I only know that it took me 51 wins to get to Master Rank, because the one win before I got to Master Rank, an achievement popped up of saying like, "Congrats on 50 wins. Here's 500 VP."
Sure.
And I was like, "Oh, if I win this next match, it would be 51 wins."
Yeah.
The like lacking Incineroar, which like I couldn't make this up. Like, this is the one Pokemon. Like the amount of matches I wish I had Incineroar in, like literally against any Tyranitar team or any Excadrill or any, like, I just wish I had Incineroar to deal with this, and I don't. And of course, I could connect to Pokemon Home and I could move it over and I could probably get to Master Rank faster, but that wasn't the point of what I was trying to do. it was like unreal that I could roll that many times in the farm and never see Incineroar or never see Garchomp or never see Whimsicott. Because I couldn't even. The other thing that like I think the bigger takeaway is that I really only had one team. I had like two versions of that team. I had one version that had Clefable instead of Sinistcha, and then I removed the other team was Sinistcha instead of Clefable, but then I also got rid of King Gambit for. I'm blanking on what I got rid of King Gambit for. So ultimately, I was only playing with like 8 Pokemon between two teams.
Right.
But I had like Charizard, I had Venusaur, but I didn't have Whimsicott, and I didn't have Incineroar, and so I'm looking at all these other teams, and it's like I'm missing Garchomp here, I'm missing Whimsicott here, and are there Pokemon that you could like alternate in and out? Like as soon as I was running Palafin for a long time, and then as soon as I got Basculegion, I replaced Palafin with Basculegion because Basculegion just does everything Palafin does better.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I could maybe put Arcanine in the Incineroar spot because it's a fire intimidator, but it's not the same as Incineroar.
Right. Of course. Of course. Mind you, real quick, I told you I recruited one extra time other than like the tutorial time. I got Garchomp.
That sounds great.
Just to throw that out there.
The third best Pokemon in the game right now.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there we go, Garchomp. I'll pick that one.
So I think that there's two sides of this coin. The first side is maybe eventually once you get the Incineroar, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You're golden for the future of this game, however long that's going to be. But what happens when Pokemon are then like disabled because they're not allowed in a new season, and you've spent your VP elsewhere? And then what happens when like legendaries come? How are you going to get those?
Yeah.
Now, I will say I think this game is great if you already have Pokemon Home and you have most of those Pokemon. So I went the pure never connecting to Pokemon Home. Can I do this with rental teams? Can I make it to Master Rank? Yes, I can. Can other people do that? Yeah, probably. If you're new to this game, I don't know if you can, right? Like I know how to do VGC. Like I qualified for Players Cups. I've done top cuts before. Like I'm not going to come on this podcast and be like I'm super good. I'm amazing. I've been playing for a while and I know what I'm doing, and I make mistakes all the time, but I think it's important when you do make mistakes that you realize the mistake you made instead of like they crit me. I can't believe I lost here. It's like, well, that's not actually the reason you lost, but
yeah.
if that makes you feel better, that's fine. I think that as a game, it's positioned to be really good if you own other Pokemon games. So I wouldn't have to go to. I never have to use Recruitment ever, me personally, because I have every Pokemon. I have all 1,025 Pokemon. I have every Furfur form. I have all 75 Alchremies, right? Like I have every Pokemon.
But did you have a shiny Simipour?
I did have a shiny Simipour before earning one in Champions. And in that regards, I think Champions is really good. But if I have every Pokemon and I don't really need that much VP, I don't really also have a reason to log in every day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to this question of like, who is this game really for? Because it feels like they're trying to monetize the pro players with like, here's all the box storage, here's all the battle teams, but you don't really need that. And then they're trying to like monetize the new people with the battle pass, but I don't even think it's worth it. And then they're holding out items to make it easier for new people, and that's making like longtime people upset. I'm not upset about the item stuff. I could take it or leave it. Like I know the format's going to change. I know they're going to introduce new Pokemon. I know they're going to introduce new items. I know they're going to take away Pokemon. But it just feels Like they don't know what they're trying to sell to us.
It almost feels like, to your point, if you have home, like I think a majority of people that play this game are going to find that they have no issue, right? They probably have Pokemon Home and a Pokemon game of some kind that they don't have to, recruit every single Pokemon and all of that. Like, and I think, like you said, for all those people, like this game is going to be just fine. And it's almost like they have to sell things because it's an app and it's a game and they need to sell something because it's a free to play game. But it's almost like they didn't need to sell anything. Like, or maybe they're selling the wrong things, like to your point. Like, if you're new to the game and you don't have a Switch or anything like that, what's the most important thing to you? Probably that VP, right?
Yeah.
Like, sell that. Sell that to people.
Sell me a new stadium. Why do we have only 2 Well, we have one.
Yeah.
We have one arena, and then if you decide to do like private battles, you're in that like dojo, like the training gym in the very beginning.
They should make one of the stadiums the farm where you recruit things.
That's true.
That's a cool background. That could have been a
my
stadium.
thought behind that's like they're gonna add more. So starting with 2 is not that, because like you think like Unite.
That's such a lame excuse.
I mean, sure, but it is an excuse, right? Like they're gonna have more.
Like, hey, we have 30 years of songs, but this one thing that you paid $10 a month for will give you one song.
Yeah, part of me wonders if that's just because they didn't want more things to break. Like if they were like, if Ilka was like,
I don't
want to.
This is the part that annoys me the most about this game. It's not like they had to come up with a new game from scratch.
Right. They just move it.
Yes, they had to rebuild it in Unity because Ilka doesn't know how to actually make anything, so they're just going to use Unity. But I don't understand how this game feels rushed, but also delayed at the same time.
Yeah.
It feels like it was delayed because they couldn't get it to work, and then all of a sudden they were like, just put it out. And they put out such a bare bones product, and I hate the argument of like, well, it's free and they'll add more stuff. Okay, well, what they added doesn't even work. The main mechanic of Mega Pokemon didn't work for 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Just because something's free doesn't mean that like it shouldn't still respect players' time.
Sure.
In a sense of like, well, do I sit here and do I wait? Or like, this is you can maybe put some blame on the player, but when I go through tutorial and I get to recruiting and I'm thinking of what I'm recruiting and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to use this with an Assault Vest, I'm going to use this with a Life Orb, and then I finally get to the shop and I go, where's the Assault Vest? Where's the Life Orb? I recruited these Pokemon with the intent to use these items, and these items don't exist.
It is that. Again, if we're talking about this being the future of VGC, that seems problematic that wasn't like laid out immediately. Like, this is the future, right? So you're thinking like, oh, well then a lot of the things that we've seen before should, like, at least the like foundational staples should be here because this is the future. They just moved, right? Everybody has been saying, they just moved battling out of Scarlet and Violet, or out of Gen 10, and it's in this game instead. They didn't just move battling out of that and put it here. It's completely different. If there are items missing, there are Pokemon missing, and we knew the Pokemon would be missing, or I think we got that from maybe
we knew Pokemon were.
I don't know if did they ever officially say that like before the demos? They didn't say it like in the trailers or anything. It was just out of the interviews that we like learned.
Yes,
there would only be final evolutions and things like that.
Yes,
anyways,
correct.
It is kind of interesting that you take what's supposed to be like the VGC you always knew and loved isn't here anymore because it just doesn't have all of like some of that stuff. Which, to both of your points from before, I also agree. Like, I don't feel bad that there aren't certain items there. Like, that's in some ways that's kind of cool that it limits it, and then it makes people have to choose something different, and you have to go a different route with things to some extent, although the meta ends up kind of being similar,
right?
Anyways, but there's a little bit of challenge there that you can't just use everything you've just always known to use before. But yeah, that is weird. Everyone who was waiting for this game is like, I got my teams prepared. This is what they're all going to hold. This is how it's going to work. And then the game came out, and everyone's like, half the teams that I
Yeah.
created
I
don't
mean,
work.
People would come into my stream the week before and say, like, Steve, do you have all your Pokemon ready and home? And I'm like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we don't know what Pokemon are going to end up
Yep.
there. And the amount of people that had things ready of Pokemon not even in the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, these Pokemon aren't confirmed. Like, I saw so many teams with Metagross. Like, Metagross and Salamence, which, like, of course, like, Metagross and Salamence were very dominant in X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And those two Pokemon are not in the game. Again, to me, not a complaint. But I think it shows, like, this false like, Pokemon fans are very good at hyping up themselves for something that wasn't ever announced. And then when it comes out, and they're like, well, there's no Metagross and there's no Salamence. Well, like, they never said there was going to be a Metagross and a Salamence.
I agree. The only thing I will say that's a little bit different here is that the way that this had all been marketed out was like, again, the VGC you know and love is just going to be over on this mobile game, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that in my mind would make me think, okay, these Pokemon that we've known to be like staples of VGC, I assumed would be there. Like, I'm not even saying I was like hyping up like, oh, Metagross is going to be there. But in my head, when I hear that, I think, oh, okay, the Pokemon that have been here, were here are going to be here for Champions. And then it just feels like, whoa, there's some big things missing. And again, they're going to bring them eventually.
I mean, they definitely advertised Ursaluna in a trailer, and Ursaluna's not here.
Oh, yeah, there are multiple Pokemon. Like, people have been talking about that. A lot of Pokemon from the trailer just are not available in the game. Which, to be fair, the whatever, the cover art of the game is going to stay the same, and then those Pokemon will eventually be in the game. And so, that's fine. But, yeah, it was just a little jarring to see. Again, I did connect to Home. So one of the things that I did do after the tutorial and the recruiting is I connected to Home just to see how it worked, which it's kind of weird. You open up Home, and then when you have the choice to go to pick a game, it's like before that. So there's a part of Home where it's like Pokedex, or you can select a game, but now there's like an area at the bottom that has champions.
Yeah.
And so you go select champions, and then you can put Pokemon and have them visit champions. Except because there's so few Pokemon in the game, it was just kind of sad to just scroll through and see all of the red, like,
X's
to be like, nope, none of these Pokemon, just pages and pages in my home.
There's also 2 days of those Pokemon just being stuck in limbo.
Yeah, that also was a little worrisome. But anyways, yeah, it was jarring to see how few Pokemon and then items there were.
I mean, the game is exactly what I told people the game was going to be, for months. And like I said, after I got back from Seattle, playing it early, I was like, "Yep, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be." Like, it is a battle simulator with the tropes to get you to log in every day, and and I said multiple times, if you have those Pokemon in Pokemon Home, you probably won't have a lot of complaints.
Yeah, and no need to log in every day, like you said.
Yeah,
like you just said, like, that you don't even need to log in every day. Although the people who have all the Pokemon and like to battle and stuff will probably log in every day just because they want to battle.
Yeah.
So they don't need the trope there.
They did paywall a Pokemon. That's what if you want to use the term paywall, cool. If you don't, I don't care. But there is no way to get Mega Floette in the game without transferring from ZA. There's no way to get her Mega Stone without they'll give you her Mega Stone when you transfer her over. So, limited one game, takes about 30 hours to not only beat the game, but then to do the 15 battle royals after to then earn her, to then move her over. So she is undoubtedly the best Pokemon in the game. And she feels really weird in this format. She's probably not higher on this list of top 10 Pokemon because you need to actually buy a $60 game and then play through it and then move it over. She does feel like the worst part of the format, though. Just because how powerful she is compared to everything else here. Okay. Like, Garchomp would probably feel way worse if Life Orb was in the game. But there's no Life Orb. But like, you can complain about that, or you could have the other take of like, well, if I want to use the most powerful Pokemon, you should have to earn the most powerful Pokemon. That's definitely a take you could jump onto.
Earn by paying $60.
Or like playing, like,
Play through the game.
Play through the game, like earn it.
Is that much of a difference than back in Sword and Shield? You had to pay for Urshifu,
right?
Like,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's there's only one game right now you can get Calyrex in.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
and if you looked at the Orlando regionals, if you looked at the top 10 on the Orlando regionals for VGC, 9 of the 10 were Calyrex, and that Pokemon does not exist in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah,
you have to get it from Sword and Shield. I'm talking about just the rabbit. Yes, the horses do exist in Scarlet and Violet, but we're not talking about the horses. We're talking about the rabbit that rides the horse. So like this is the other thing I've been saying is, yeah, you could say that this is the future of VGC, right? But when, Groudon Jr. and Kyogre Sr. come to Gen 12, you're going to have to buy Gen 12, right? You're going to have to buy that $70 game or that $80 game, however much it costs, and then you're going to have to move those over. Like it's like going to Vegas and gambling. The house always wins. Like Pokemon is always winning here.
Yeah.
Like they could make this an easier, more accessible thing. But hey, if you want Mega Floette, pony up $60. Or I guess you could go on home GTS and trade and probably get a hacked one. And at that point, it's like, I don't know, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of me thinks, first off, 100% Pokemon's always going to win. They have been winning for 30 years. This is why they are who they are. Second, though, I think we look at things like Floette being the best Pokemon right now in the game. And I think that the Pokemon Company looks at not everybody needing to have the best Pokemon in the game. And the ones who want it, they'll pay the money and they'll do what they can to get that if they have the opportunity and if they have the money and the ability to do it. And Pokemon will make more money, and good for Pokemon. But I think that what they want to see more than anything is just people playing the game, right? More people getting in there and playing the game. And let's say they get an extra million people to play this game that never battled before. And of that million people, only like 1,000 of them decide they want to really pursue competitive from playing this game. Well, that's 1,000 more people than there were before that want to pursue competitive, while also having a bunch of casual battlers potentially buying a battle pass or a membership, but never expecting to go to Worlds or even a regional or anything like that, right? Like, it is nothing but wins up and down for the Pokemon Company, especially because, to your point, this game wasn't made from scratch. They just took a system that has been around for 30 years, moved it into its own app, and
it still didn't work.
Yes. Well, they apologized, right? They apologized.
I don't understand. It almost feels like Metroid Prime 4, where everyone's review felt like, well, that game was in development for 8 years?
Yeah.
And then it still felt rushed at the end. It still felt like a rushed game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Champions feels like. Like, how long were they making this? Because I was still confident it was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah.
And it clearly launched poorly. It launched with a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it launched with Pokemon getting stuck. And it launched very bare bones too. It's not even like it launched bare bones, but everything at least worked fine.
Right.
And it feels as they just had to get it out because they need to get it out because they need this for Worlds.
Right.
Yeah. It feels very, very much like the TCG Live release.
Exactly. Everything about this entire release feels like TCG Live.
Yeah. Delayed. All of a sudden it came out. Whoa. It feels like it's been rushed because nothing seems to work correctly.
Yeah. And TCG Live's been out for 3-4 years. It's gotten better, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't given that any time since initially released.
I don't know the last time I opened
cards
it.
are still broken in that game. Things still don't work.
That is true. Cards are broken.
If you don't go to any scary movie, just look at the trainer models in TCG Live. You will be frightened for days.
Here's one thing I will say, real quick. One of the things that I don't like about VGC, is the same thing I don't like about the physical TCG, and it's how long a match takes. I'm not someone that when I sit down to play a game or a video game specifically, I like games where I can just kind of like pause it when I want to, or the matches are quick enough that I can get through like one and then be on my way if I want to. And these games, they just take longer, and that's fine. Like that's how a lot of games are. One thing that the TCG brought about that I liked was initially when Pocket came out. They made it into a way where there was like quicker battles, right? The Pocket battles were quicker. I wish there was a way that they could do VGC where the battles were quicker. Like, I wouldn't want it to be champions. Like, this would have to be some completely different app at some point in the future.
To be fair, I do think the battles are way quicker than they've ever been.
Are they now?
Yeah.
Than they have been before?
I mean, I feel like the loading time animations seem to go by faster, right?
Yeah, and also getting into match feels like almost instantly. Like,
that's good.
I can definitely get through more matches in an hour in Champions than in past games.
What would you say is like the average battle that like time that you had?
I would say when I was playing Scarlet and Violet, it would be maybe if I was lucky, 3, maybe 4 matches an hour.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
In this game, I feel like I can do 5, maybe 6 in an hour. Like, it feels way quicker.
That's better. That's better for sure.
But yeah, animations are some are quicker, some look better.
Yeah.
Like the Hyper Beam animation looks great.
Yeah, I liked the animation. The surf and the waterfall animations were cool. The fire, some of the fire stuff was cool. Animations were cool. But you know, if there was again, this is some future app that doesn't exist. It would be kind of cool if they had some kind of VGC type battling that was like 3-minute battles or something. That it would almost be like a stepping stone. They won't do that because
they call
that
Legends ZA, where you just one shot everything. I think that's the battles you're asking for.
I guess
you're just asking for a one-shot simulator, which they made. It was Legends ZA.
I don't want a one-shot simulator. I guess that is the problem there. That's what you.
Okay, but everything in VGC is like a 2-shot simulator.
That's also true.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you are literally asking for ZA there, Bobby.
Maybe I am just asking for ZA.
Yeah, I think if you connect Pokemon Home, I think this game is pretty solid. I'm still not convinced on the accessibility. I don't think IVs were like a huge problem. Like most like I don't know why people hyper focus on IVs of like, well, you need 0 in attack and you need 0 in speed. I promise you that you're not losing the match because you had 31 IVs on a Meow Stick and you got foul played. I have done over 100 matches in Champions. I didn't get foul played once, and even when foul play was like, it feels like people make excuses, right? And when I was coaching with Paul, who I think he won the 2017 World Championships, 2018 World Championships. The piece of advice he gave me that has always stuck with me is when you watch your replay. By the way, this competitive game has no replays. When you watch your replay, and let's say you got crit and you died because of that crit, and you go, I lost the game because of the crit. He said, was there something you could do before that crit happened where even if you did get crit, you would have still been in a good position to win?
Uh-huh.
And I think there are, and nothing in Champions for new players is ever going to teach you that, right?
Right.
You're just going to say, oh, I got crit. I lost because of the crit. Maybe, and maybe you did lose because of the crit. But it wasn't because like you had 0 IVs or you had 31 IVs or even you had 200 EVs in your stat, or you had 240 EVs. And I already saw this past weekend where people would come in and they would ask me what my EV spread was for my team, and I was like, my EVs they literally don't matter, because what am I EV calculating against in a new meta? I just need my Sneasler to be fast. I just need my King Gambit to have as much HP as possible, because he's always gonna be the slowest Pokemon on the field here. Like, none of that matters, and the Champions doesn't explain that to you,
right?
When you recruit a Pokemon, sure, it already has IVs and EVs, and you could easily look up the best moves. But even as a new player, I can't help but assume that those players are overwhelmed by EVs of like where to put those sliders.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And there's nothing that there's nothing that lowers that barrier of, if anything, IVs were the thing you don't have to worry about. Maybe and that's probably why they removed them, because it was so easy to catch a shiny Pokemon or just a regular Litten and say, okay, here's a golden bottle cap. Now you don't have to think about that at all. And so I don't have a complaint with the IVs being hidden / removed, because obviously they still exist.
Yeah.
Like, they're still in home, and they're still in ZA, they're still in that stuff.
Right.
The accessibility comes from how they replaced replica teams with rental teams. Like, I couldn't just, if somebody wanted to use my team, they need to have all 6 of those Pokemon. Not only do they need to have all 6 of those Pokemon, they need to have those held items as well.
Yeah.
And if they add more held items and you don't have the VP to buy those held items, or if they change around the Pokemon, that gets really weird. So when we're talking about accessibility, I still don't think that this game is any more accessible than past Pokemon games. Sure, if you already know what you're doing, it's easier to change your EV's spread, sure, and it's easier to change your moves, sure. But in Sword and Shield, I could boot up the game, I could see the Zashi and Zamazenta cutscene, and then as soon as that cutscene is over and I'm in front of my house, I could go to online, I could type in a 6-digit rental code, and now I can start battling right away with any team that I find. And you can't do that. You literally cannot do that in Champions.
Yeah. I think that is the thing that they, honestly, of all the things that I've heard this week about Champions, and I've heard good and bad. I'm not just saying like the bad here. I'm just, of all the things that I've heard, I feel like the most controversial thing was the way that the replica teams worked. Because, again, I think people were so sure, hey, this is the VGC you've always known and loved, right? Oh, okay, cool. We're going to have our rental teams, or, they renamed them replica teams. We're going to have those. So, all this VP and stuff, whatever. I can just get a replica team and I can have fun and play with other people's teams, or just know if I want to maybe try to recruit those Pokemon at some point in the future or whatever. Completely out the window.
Yeah,
completely out the window for any new player.
The positive about replica teams is you can use a replica team in a tournament, and you can't use a rental team in a tournament. But that's just because a replica team it takes what you already own and puts it together.
Which honestly, like, I could see myself being like, yes, I'm doing that. I'm someone who has those Pokemon, right? And it's like, oh, I don't have to put the work in to like get them, exactly how I want them. I have them already, but I just use a replica team code and I can pop in there with that.
So
that's beneficial.
So again, this isn't an issue right now in a format like this until what happens when Urshifu comes out. Where are you getting an Urshifu from?
Sure.
Like, there was a very small window in Pokemon Go that you could get an Urshifu from.
Yes.
There's only 2 games on the Switch that you can Urshifu from. And if they're are they putting Urshifu in the ranch? No clue. So once these teams start filling up with, Ogrepons or Urshifus or Calyrexes, that is all of a sudden you can't just try it yourself.
Sure.
And again, I don't want to hear like, we'll just trade it for somebody. That is, you could always trade. That doesn't make this more accessible.
Yeah.
It just, like, if your answer to this is like, if you're a person being like, well, this game is going to be more accessible for VGC, and it's like, well, I don't have Urshifu, just trade for it. I could have done that in Scarlet and Violet.
Right.
That doesn't make this game more accessible.
But I think that it, in a way, it still does, because it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Not every person that's playing this game needs or wants Urshifu or Floette or whoever the top Pokemon is. Sure, they're not going to get maybe as far, or they're not going to get to maybe master rank as easily, but they don't all need the best of the best at all times. And I think that that's still like, there still is accessibility in the fact that this game is free. This game's going to be on mobile. There's more ways to play it, and they can still play the game. Now, will it keep people playing for a longer period of time? That we don't know. But it will get more people in the door to know if they like the idea of what this competitive battling is in the first place. And again, Pokemon wins left or right, because if they jump in and they maybe spend a little money at some point to see if like they like this, and then they drop off, well, they got a little bit of money from them. If they jump in and they've never played a Pokemon game before, but they really like this, maybe that gets them to buy a Switch if they have the ability to do that. Maybe that gets them to buy a Pokemon game and do more with that. I mean,
yeah, I think even if they drop
way.
off, but they buy a Pokemon game, I think Pokemon still wins there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I just think that it is still more accessible in the Pokemon company's eyes, because it's just in more people's faces. And again, I don't know if that leads to more people actually being into competitive a year from now, but they're just getting it in front of more people's faces. And I think that that's probably the most important part for the Pokemon company, because they're not doing a great job at like catering to the brand new people like we just talked about. Like, they're really not. They're in the middle. They're realizing, I think, that this doesn't work to cater to the best of the best and the brand new players.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job in the TCG department. Like, TCG continues to grow. And is that because of Live? I don't know. I'm sure Live is helpful.
Yeah, Live's. I'm sure.
I don't think Live is hurting them. Well, I mean, those trainer models in Live are definitely hurting them. But I got some numbers here. The first global challenge for Scarlet and Violet. All these numbers are public, by the way. I was talking to Mr. Joe Sarumi about this weekend. But these numbers, you can go in the Pokemon HOME app and look up these numbers. The first global challenge in Scarlet and Violet had 60,000 entrants. And as of last night, the warm-up challenge had 500,000 entrants.
Whoa.
The highest ranked battle, or season, I should say, in Scarlet and Violet was 1.2 million entrants. But we do not know how many people in Champions have touched rank.
Right.
Although, if you're getting a free Gardevoir and you're getting free tickets and you only have to do 3 matches and not lose, that's like 500,000 people there. The first global challenge was pretty shortly after the game came out, and most people probably didn't even finish Scarlet and Violet. So the fact that like they wanted ranked right away, kind of limited that.
True. Sure. What was you said that the most registered one in Scarlet and Violet was 1.2 million?
The most players during a ranked season.
Oh, during a ranked season. Got it. Okay. Was there anything special about that season? Or was it just...
I'm not sure what season it was. Sarumi just gave me a list of numbers.
Got it.
I'm not sure. I couldn't, even if I said it was like Regulation D or Regulation F, I have no clue what Pokemon those were. I'd have to there's so many letters in that ranked season, I can't remember. At all. I know Sword and Shield. I know Sword and Shield's highest challenges were the 3 with the Articuno Moltres Zapdos rewards.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask. I don't think there were any there were no shiny giveaways like that.
Not for Scarlet and Violet. Yeah.
Okay.
So not having 1.2 entrants for no shiny reward. That's just that was just regular ranked.
Yeah.
Here's my last problem with this game. And again, I think I said a lot of good things about the game. I don't think I played it for 15 hours. I got to master rank. I won over 50 battles. I played a lot of this game. I I knew prior to this game coming out and prior to going to Seattle and playing it, I like Pokemon battles.
Uh-huh.
That was one of my complaints about ZA, is it wasn't turn-based.
Yeah, no Pokemon battles.
Yeah.
I genuinely like Pokemon battles. So the Pokemon battles I'm enjoying. Even with the limited Pokemon, even with the limited items, still enjoying it. Having a great time. Love it.
You going to go champion rank? Are you going to get to the champion?
I don't think anyone can get a champion rank right now.
Next week, though, right? Or something?
Is that when it opens?
I think next week. I think a week after the game releases is when the next rank, the champion rank opens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now that I've gotten to master rank, yes, I plan to use my own Pokemon. Now that I've gotten there.
That's going to be my next question. If you're going to use your own Pokemon now.
I think... So yeah, I like the game. And I like the little challenge I gave myself of not using Pokemon Home. It does still worry me for future mobile-only players. But what I think this game is completely missing, and maybe it will come, but my expectations are very low because it's Oka. I think that this game would be what would help retain / get new people in, I think, would be random battles. It would be that you get 6 random Pokemon, your opponent gets 6 random Pokemon, and then you fight. I think that would give people a reason to log in every day, especially if okay, this is your random team for the day. And now you can fight other people who have a random team for the day. Mm-hmm. I think that would get you to log in every day. That would get you to use Pokemon you've never used before. And I think they did a good job of with this in Dynamax Adventures of, okay, I have to battle Zekrom 20 times because I'm trying to shiny hunt Zekrom. But every time I battle Zekrom, I'm getting different Pokemon. And I've never used a Stunfisk. I've never used a Kingdra. I've never used a Dugong. Mm-hmm. That's probably a real thing that somebody said. I've never used a Dugong. And so I believe if they added random battles that you could get one team a day, I think that would help retain players. And I think that would help people understand or use Pokemon they've never used before. I also think the game is missing what I said 2 or 3 weeks ago when I did my impression video on Champions, is that there's no draft mode either.
Yeah.
And I think if there was a ranch draft mode thing, where again you could you saw 60 Pokemon, you saw 6 things of 10, and you picked 1 from each, and then you had those for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be great. Right now, they just have you log in and you do casual, which is a waste of time. There's literally you don't get anything for doing casual. I don't know why you would ever press that button. Or you go ranked. And even if you lose in ranked, you get points, which is nice.
Yeah.
But this is why this goes back to Floette, is if you really want to get more VP and you really and you don't like losing and you want to get better and you want to hit these meta teams, it does favor using Incineroar, using Floette, using Charizard Y. It's just a meta will always be a meta. You remove Charizard, you remove Floette, you remove Gengar, other Pokemon will rise to the top. That's just what it is. And there's nowhere in the game where you can really feel I just want to log in and have fun and not feel like, one, I'm wasting time and I'm not getting anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is casual. You could do casual.
Sure.
But I've always said, I don't feel any better losing a casual match than losing a ranked match, right? It's not I just lost a casual. It's not that bad. No, I still lost.
Still lost.
And then if I won a casual, it doesn't feel good. At least when I win a ranked, I'm okay, cool. My bar is going up. I'm getting 300 VP. My rank is going up. I know that casual exists for this low stakes thing, but you don't get anything for it.
Yeah, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm always someone who wants to jump into a ranked thing if ranked is available versus casual. But I guess there are some people who just want to practice and then don't want that to go on their record of losses, maybe.
But there is no record of losses.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's because there is no record, there's no reason to not go into competitive.
Did Pocket have losses shown? I think Pocket was only wins.
I think it was not originally, right?
Originally, it was only wins. You never saw your losses, which I loved. I don't know if it's changed. Honestly, I haven't played PvP in a long time in Pocket, but
yeah.
I'm not surprised about I'm not surprised with the amount of people playing. I'm not surprised with the people complaining. I'm not surprised with the people not complaining. I see both goods and bads with this game, and I hope that came across this episode. But I don't see how this retains players who aren't already committed.
Yeah.
And that was never if you've listened to these podcasts the last year, that was never going to be the problem. They could tell VGC players that VGC is going to be on the PlayStation 2 and that's going to be at Worlds next year. And VGC players will like, well, that's where it's going to be, so that's where I'm going to go, right? Like, they don't care where it is.
Yep.
They're just going to go wherever Pokemon tells them to go. That's never been the problem.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The only thing I could see, and I know we've talked about this a lot, so we don't need to get into it at all, but the only thing I could see is if in a year or for Generation 11, if they really do pull VGC out of the main series games, this like being just a reason, like just it pulls it away. So regardless if they retain new people or not or whatever, if part of the reasoning here was they really did want to pull it out of the main series games and have it be its own thing, this works, right? This does that for them. Now, will it happen? Who knows? But I just that could be something that, regardless of whether they need to get new people to play or retain like people who are already playing, whatever they're doing, if this just works because it's like, hey, now the battling is out of the main series game, then they've, mission accomplished, I guess.
I mean, they had one new mechanic, Mega Evolution. They had over a year to work on it, and it still launched. Mega Evolution was broken.
That
is not like, opinions aside, that is an insane thing to happen.
Fact.
I didn't say they stuck the landing. I just said like they did a thing. They got battling over here in this app now.
Yeah.
They did that, yes. And if Gen 10 introduces a new mechanic, or they do the thing where it's like, okay, two mechanics are going to happen at once, I don't have a lot of faith. How do you you have one mechanic? It's not even a new mechanic. It's existed for 12 years.
Yeah.
And it launched broken.
If we ever get to the time where we see all four of them at once, I'm very curious. Like, that's...
Oh, jeez. I don't even want to think about how that'll go.
Yeah.
But to be fair, for all the new people who've never battled or played or anything before,
they didn't
know it was broken.
They don't know.
Yeah, but now we're in this weird, like, maybe it'll go away. We're in this weird thing where we don't know if things are bugs or not, because we also don't have if it's the game.
Yeah.
Because like somebody was like, I missed my 100% accurate Moonblast into King Gambit. What happened? And it was like, is it really broken, or did the King Gambit run Bright Powder because no one runs Bright Powder? But maybe it's Bright Powder.
But how do we know? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how do we know? So you're seeing all these bugs on like online of like, is this a bug? And it's like, probably not. Maybe there's a lot of bugs. I don't know if this one is also.
We all get to figure it out together, I guess.
But that shouldn't happen. Yes, Scarlet and Violet did have bugs like Dragon Cheer, but at least you could say Dragon Cheer was a brand new move. It was the first time ever Dragon Cheer happened.
Yeah, but it still has the bug.
No, the Dragon Cheer in VGC is completely fixed.
Oh, okay. Just in the raids?
In raids, it's broken. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they emergency patched Dragon Cheer pretty quickly.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. But at least Dragon Cheer was a new move. Encore has been around since Gen 3.
Sure.
Lightning Rod has been around since Gen 3. And that Lightning Rod Encore situation just didn't work.
Caught him by surprise.
Okay. This podcast has went on way too long.
Yep.
We're gonna wrap up here. The Pokopia stuff is just bug stuff. We'll cover it next week. It's just nothing too major. If you stick around for our bonus episode, we'll talk about the Orlando Regionals drama and give our thoughts on that. Thank you for making it to the end. I did post my master rank team on. You can watch the YouTube video. It's in the YouTube video. I posted on socials if you want to use it, assuming you have all the Pokemon. You don't need Incineroar because I didn't have Incineroar. If you would like to use my team, if you have all my, what I would do though is I would replace Clefable with Incineroar on my team. If I would have had Incineroar, that's where Incineroar would went. Instead, I used Clefable is very similar to Incineroar. You know, they're both Pokemon. They're both colorful.
They both stand on 2 feet.
Yeah.
They're both very intimidating.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
They both have legs.
They do.
Yeah.
They both have hands. They're very similar. I don't know why you would not put
eyes
Clefable.
and a mouth as well. You know?
Yeah, they both have facial features.
Clefable barely has facial features, but sure.
I mean, there's eyes.
There are eyes.
They both have eyes.
Gotta love the eyes.
It's not like, look, I'm not recommending a Zubat. That doesn't even have eyes.
Exactly. That would be way off. That'd be way off the track.
If you're on Patreon, stick around for our bonus. If you would like the bonus stuff, the ad-free episodes, patreon.com/PKMNcast. Fun episode. Thank you guys for making it to the end. We will be back next week. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Austin. Thanks for listening. Feel free to like and subscribe on YouTube. And we will see you guys next week. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective.
Super right off the ranch. No, he didn't throw it. I mean, okay, he did. He tossed him. He did toss him a little bit, but it seemed it did. There was no like vitriol there. It was all like, oh yeah, I'm stoked I won. It wasn't even like, ha, got you. It was just like, oh yeah, I want to get up and celebrate. I got to put my headphones down. I don't know.